TPain was right. Drake should retire. What up, words? Your boy Challz Brown back again talking facts. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell. Keep sending those Cashaps to CLBMG. Join the membership gang. Listen, TPain was right. And I know I got a lot of new subscribers that don't know what we do on this channel, but sometimes I do have conversations about Drake that aren't that flattering. I'm just going to be honest, gang. And what I'm going to do right now is have a pretty harsh conversation. Maybe some of the OVO people that are new to this thing might want to check out before this gets started, and go ahead and hit that unsubscribe, because I do this from time to time. But for those that want to stick around, I know this title might sound like a little clickbait, but hear me out. I think this guy's having a real tough time in this business. I think literally Kendrick has showed this guy the door. What happened with hip hop, not necessarily with pop music, they love this guy. Oh man, he about to go country. I'm a little bit of country. I'm a little bit of rock and roll. He about to be country because they love him. But in hip hop, we're very particular. We're picky about what we support and endorse. And yes, some hip hop people do like Drake, but a lot of hip hop people, as you can see, after you follow up what happened with that battle, right? How savage that battle went for Drake. One Mr. Aubrey Graham, it wasn't good at all. Like Kendrick said, you can't recreate this violence, and that battle got pretty violent with the words, gang. He literally said, I niggas like this should die. Like, remember that? So at the end of the day, this battle worked out really, really bad in Drake's favor and really, really good in Kendrick's favor. And they want to try to make us feel bad about Kendrick eating what he kills, right? He killed this guy, so now he's eating the spoils. He did a stadium tour. He made hundreds of millions of dollars, him and SZA, and they want to try to make us feel bad. They want to make us, they want us to feel guilty about having the winners table, right? They want to downplay it and make it like, oh man, if it wasn't for the boy, he wouldn't have never had that. Well, he cut his head off, so he got it. Okay, we're done explaining. I'm done. I'm done of freaking like trying to go toe for toe with these soft ass, these bubble bath rap lovers, right? I'm sick of it. They get their lavender face mask, they can go to sleep. Listen, I'm tired of it, gang. Every single day since this battle began, we've been going tit for tat, trying to explain why the bubble bath rapper is not good enough to hang with this guy, but they don't want to hear that. They want to make it like, oh man, yo, if it wasn't for Drake, this, that, and the third, everything is like constantly, and we're sick of it. But what had happened was your man got in a battle. He took his armor and his shield, and it's like, you know how you watch those movies about medieval times, and the prince is mad vain, and he thinks that he's like so great until something happens and they rush his castle and they cut his head off. Well, that's what happened. And at the end of the day, this guy has not recovered. At my last count, I think in 2024, I think my last count, it was 18 songs that Drake released that went absolutely nowhere. Drake had to finally force himself to chill out. And that's what TPain was talking about. But did he chill out? No. He went and grabbed Party Next Door and went and made some sexy songs for you. Put that out on Valentine's Day right after the Super Bowl, right? Everybody was so like, yo, his people, because the real world, if you gave it a spin at all, you probably said that it wasn't good or it was whatever, and a lot of people didn't like it. But his fans, they went to it in droves. They loved it, right? But it wasn't enough, right? A lot of real niggas left, but it's not enough, and it didn't get the record nowhere. The record was a dud, but they wanted to make us believe that the numbers that he would have laughed at before were actually worthy. The first week sales predictions actually were worse than when it actually came out, and all they did was try to tell us, yo, the label, this is good for an artist that his label's blackballing him and he can't get radio, and now that he's semi-independent, like they made a million reasons why this was good, and it's not even really his album, it's Party Next Door's album. So end of the day, they went and latched on to, they tried to do it with Give Me a Hug, didn't work. They knew nothing else on that album had any kind of potential to do anything. See, records actually got to sound good, gang. You know how you see all this #1 stuff? This one #1, that one #1. Yeah, you could try to fabricate it, but at the end of the day, it's not going to get to that #1 spot if somebody don't actually like it. So nobody really liked that stuff on that album outside of his fans who are going to like anything that he makes. Like I said, I always tell you, my brother-in-law, he loves the album. He said, listen, I'm not going to listen to you haters. I'm going to enjoy this album because I think it's a perfectly good project. And salute to him. You know what I'm saying? Much love to him. He loved that record. He plays it all the time. When he came to my house, he's like, put on that for Sexy Songs for You. It is what it is. Go enjoy yourself. Knock yourself out, right? But end of the day, people that don't covet this man as like the GOAT, that's the boy, right? They didn't like the album. So you need people to actually like the music for it to go number one. So they had to figure out, okay, No Kid's the closest thing. So he went and made the Goofy video. He made a this record could have been beautifully done because he had I believe the Brazilian dancers. You don't make a black and white video when you got these colorful Brazilian dancers. You don't do that, but they don't know that. They're not plugged in with what's going on. So they thinking, wow, we're going to make a black and white video. People didn't like it. Cashapp said, I didn't like the video. No one liked the video, but it didn't matter because the Drake fans loved it. This guy could have went on there in some freaking cargo pants and just went upside down for the whole video and just was like doing like Curious George or something and just pretending he was in a cartoon. They don't care. Whatever it is, it's great. It's great. It's great. So they realized that, okay, people not jacking the song. They're not jacking the video. They started going on a streaming mission with all his fans like, yo, stream it. They got the record up. It went to number 4, went to number 3. Fine. Blah. It's 4 weeks trying to push this record. That's not organic. So right now, you're talking about a man, I just told you, he had 18 records that he tried to drop after the battle. Them joints went double O nothing, right? Then they dropped some Sexy Songs for You Valentine's Day. That thing was very mediocre, lukewarm, but they had a million excuses, right? They don't want to admit that Kendrick exposed him, lift up the skirt. He took the bubbles out the bubble bath, right? He unplugged the tub, told his nigga, go to bed. And he didn't want to go, right? I got to go bad, right? Now, here we are. Once again, No Kid got pushed. It went as high as number 2. It took him weeks and weeks. They're fighting uphill. This guy should not be fighting this much to stay relevant. I'm just going to be honest. There's no reason for this. This guy's the biggest artist. He was the biggest pop star in the world. One of 3. Right? He was one of 3. So what TPain is trying to say, and what a lot of these Drake fans are going to do, they're going to run and get mad at TPain. Now they hate TPain. That's going to be, you're going to see for the next year, probably year and a half, they're going to slander this man. They're going to make every kind of meme. They're going to come at TPain every kind of way, but sideways, and try to destroy this man's legacy. What he got, now his stuff going to be trash. Now they're going to be pulling up, oh, he can't even sing, All this stuff is going to be crazy, right? Because TPain only told Drake what he already said he should do. Bow out gracefully. When it's this hard to go number 1, listen, Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan, Brady, Wayne Gretzky, even the great Jay-Z got to fall back even a little bit. Like, some point, you can't play with the game. You can't play with the young guys like you used to. And you don't even want to, right? At some point, especially when you get beat this bad, like he got beat bad. He's in court, gang. He made a lawsuit. This means you might should retire from music, gang. And this is just, and TPain said, you ain't got to retire. You can make music here and there, but not chase numbers. Stop trying to be competitive. Just throw out something for your own health. TPain was like, I throw out my own music. I'm not trying to be in the game. I'm not trying to compete. I don't do a lot of music. I just do something here and there. I'll drop it. Did you guys hear it? That's it. That's TPain's pretty much, that's how he feels his retirement should go. That is his way of retiring. Let's falling back. I'm not trying to chase numbers. I'm not trying to promote the shit. I'll throw something out here and there. He makes stuff for his gaming. He has a gaming team. He'll make a song here and there, or he goes live. He makes the beats, this and that live, Other than that, TPain is retired, right? For lack of a better word. Even retirees can go get a job at a supermarket, bagging groceries. It don't mean you're not retired. It just mean you work a little bit. You work a little bit here and there. That's what Drake could do. Because if I drop 18 songs, all these features, this, that, and the third, then I drop some Sexy Songs for You, it doesn't chart until my fan base alone, not the world, because the world gave up on that thing in 2 days. The world wasn't going to listen for that. These motherfuckers, they went and started paying people to do TikToks. They started like, yo, you can get $30 for that per fucking, like, it just got crazy. I don't know what it was, but the guy already came out and said, yeah, he took credit for it. Like, listen, I was the one doing the promotion for getting TikTokers to do the dance and the dance to the song, and I was paying them. He was proud of it. So we already know they did this. Drake shouldn't have to do all that. And it still did never hit number 1. It hit number 2. After Luther had died down and this guy, Morgan Wallen, came, right in the middle of that, when Luther finally, they put a crack in it, and these guys so dense, they made it like, Luther died down because it just sooner or later, it got to die down. So then these Drake fans, yeah, no, now what? Like, this motherfucker, this shit been on here for weeks and months, gang. But to them, it got to stay there forever, or it's a fumble. Like, they so delusional, gang. It's like, I don't know what kind of drugs they be on. Like, it's crazy, gang, but they wanted, Luther finally fell off the charts, fell down, right? And they removed, I believe they removed either Luther or Not Like Us one of them, because if you're not on the, I believe if you're on the thing for a certain amount of weeks and something like that, some reason that they remove it, right? I think it was Not Like Us, they removed it for some amount of weeks it was on, and whatever happens, they just take it down, because whatever. So that happened. So I guess they took that as a loss that, you could tell they stopped paying the bots. So it's just like crazy delusional shit over there. It makes no rhyme or reason. They don't care to find out what the truth was. They just want to be, crazy bots. Here comes Drake, So he got this so-called album coming out called Iceman. These fans done made 17 different covers. Every cover is awful. I really hope he's not naming this record Iceman. I'm just going to be honest. They're trying to tell me, Challz, you got to understand, it's a basketball player. His name is the Iceman. That's what he's getting it for. They got 4 different meanings of this damn Iceman. The guy ain't saying a word. He ain't even acknowledged that this is the real title or not. But these motherfuckers, Challz, you got to understand, Iceman, you got to look deeper into it. It has a deeper meaning. Well, you got to explain the meaning. I don't like it. It doesn't fit. It doesn't seem like it's a good title. Now, maybe he'll come out and he'll have a reason and He already said, guys, bear with me. He made a statement, I'm going to be darker on this one. Just bear with me. So he's basically setting them up that he might be on this on some boo-hoo shit, or he might be like dead ass just on some retrospective, just explaining himself and telling everybody how he got from A to B and what really happened with the battle. It might be a darker record. So I don't know. Maybe Iceman will make sense. Maybe it'll click. Oh, damn, that's what he meant. But until then, I think it's a bad title. I think the whole thing is what TPain is trying to say is, gang, you're forcing this. I say all that. I went all the way around Mulberry Bush to say this. You're forcing this. At this point, you went from the biggest artist, one of the top 3-5 artists in the world, to now you're struggling to get #1 when Kendrick, everything on GNX is like on the charts in the top 15, 20 when it dropped. Drake had, I think, none of that stuff was really doing anything, and nothing went #1. So it's telling you, gang, you're Michael Jackson right now. Remember when Michael Jackson released Butterflies after all them years? They tried to do a remix, this and that, and it just never hit. And then we all love Michael Jackson, but I think Michael Jackson, when he came out, I think Michael Jackson's, I can't remember the name of the record, but I think it did like 2 million. And they were like, my God, first of all, 2 million for anybody else. The first week sales, 2 million, whatever it was like 2 million. For anybody else, they would have been king of earth. For Michael Jackson, they were like, yeah, this ain't it, Mike. We really want to rock with you, but you really not. You just low-key fell off. Okay? So what I'm saying is, when you hit that wall and it's time, the people aren't jacking your music like that, and then you're doing the Butterfly remix and this and that and the third, something's going on. Gang, I love Mike Jackson. Don't get my comments talking crazy to me. Dude, man, you listen, we'll have a problem. I love Mike Jackson. I love Butterflies. But we all knew that when he dropped Butterflies, it was struggling. Mike was struggling on the charts. He was trying to get to another level that he was never going to reach again. Right now, Drake compared himself to Michael Jackson, and this is where he is with Michael Jackson. He's the one battle wiped this guy out. First of all, it was already declining anyway. But one battle got this guy spiraling. He's in court talking about they're using a song against me. It's the dumbest lawsuit in history, gang. Like they're using the song against you for the battle. You jumped in yourself. I'm not even gonna go crazy. I'm not going crazy. I'm not gonna rehash that right now. But what I'm saying is, the battle destroyed him. He pulled him. On the hip hop level, you try to do a hip hop thing, which is battle. You try to rhyme battle. You lost a rap battle. You tried to go in on some hip hop shit. Your ego and your hubris made you feel like you could do it. You could beat this little guy. He's a midget wearing a size 7 shoe. Well, this guy didn't come to play. You talked about his girl, and this dude was like, listen, I hope niggas like you should die. Like, it was like, oh shit, this nigga, like, he don't give a fuck about this guy. So it got really bad really quickly. I think we already discussed that. It was probably a span of really all this shit happening 4 real days. Like, this fuck, bang, 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 bang. All these shit started dropping. When they really got busy, before you know it, I think it was like 4 days. Like, all that shit dropped, bang, 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 bang. And then you got the hard part 6, and dude was giving up, right? So all that happened, it really put even for the people that don't know about hip hop and rap battles, the people that followed him, that just followed into the battle, they realized, oh shit, it's a battle. This is what a battle is. Okay, let's see. Then they saw him bow out. They were like, well, wait, he's not as tough as he thought. We thought this guy was tough. Like, what the hell? This is supposed to be Drake. Like, so a lot of stuff was pulled up, and a lot of people started to feel like he wasn't cool no more. A lot of the kids started to say Drake isn't cool no more. They're going around singing "Not Like Us" in class and in the lunchroom, right? While they're eating their Lunchables in their juice boxes, they're singing "Not Like Us." Don't say the curse words, right? I'm sure these kids is cursing like crazy. But here we are. TPain is trying to give you your own advice, and Drake is still he's not listening because now he responded. So I want to read this article, have a conversation, because I personally feel like TPain is right. And when you look at at face value, the title sound crazy. Drake should retire. Wow, I know him against some OVO people. Wow, he's the biggest artist in the world. You just a hater. You in the back of your car. Da, da, da. Well, I'm not in the back, I'm in the front. But end of the day, it's not about being a hater. It's the fact that if you got to do this many records and you got to do this much, you got to pay TikTokers. And I don't think nobody over on that camp was paying TikTokers for TikTok dances, right? You can't buy influence. I think at this point, if Drake puts out an album and he got to pay TikTok dancers, it's a wrap. It's a wrap, gang. If you got to pay TikTok dancers to influence your record and it still ain't go #1, you had all these people, they online every day, all these Drake stand pages. Anybody that did a dance to that TikTok, they was on a Drake stand page within 15 minutes. Anybody of any significance? Who was it? Lizzo? She did something with no kid. Oh, yeah, look at Lizzo. They love you when you do something with them, right? Then they hate you when you don't, right? So when you do that much wheel spinning, you might need to come on down like Pops when he just get his cake, he get his watch. I'm retiring, gang. I'm just putting in my notice. Yo, you said I get some cufflinks and a watch, and you said, I just want to get that, and I'm going to get up out of here. I'm done. You know what I'm saying? You could give me a party in about 2 weeks. That's what Drake needs to do. Just like, I know he's saying, but Drake is only 37 years old, 38. Da-da-da. Yeah, but it's not about that. It's about you're forcing this. Now you got this album coming out now. What are you expecting these numbers to be? When most of the people, let's just be honest, these K-bots, they're not jacking it. I'm on the fence. Look, I really, gang, I'm just, and I got to do it for the culture low key. And I've always listened, let's just be honest, I always listen to Drake albums when they come out. But as I peel back the layers, like, I'm just going to be honest, like, a lot of times I never went back to him. You know what I mean? Even before this battle and all this shit, like, I'll listen to it. I'm just going to be honest. Like, I listen to Scorpion. I listen to the whole shit, long as a motherfucker. I listen to that joint. And I walked away feeling low-key empty. I'm like, it's a couple joints, but I don't, what did I just hear? Like, I'm just being honest, gang. And I was like, what did I just hear? Like, it ain't, how something ain't bad, but it ain't good either. It's just like, I don't know, like, nothing's on here. Like, maybe 3 joints. And I don't want to be that asshole. Like, it was 3 joints tops, like, da-da-da. But, I mean, it didn't move me. And when it's that many joints, it's just, I got to listen to 3 joints, then 1 good one, then 4 joints, and then there's some singing shit. I don't listen to music like that. I don't want albums like that. And maybe something wrong with me. Or maybe I'm an old head or something, but I don't want 3 fucking parties, dancing joints, and then a smoke hookah joint, and then there's 1 hard joint, and 21 Savage come out of nowhere. Then I'm back to singing to some chick. I'm like, I don't listen to music like that. That's for somebody else. It's not for me. I'm just gonna be honest. So I feel like a lot of that, before this battle even happened, it was a lot of people feeling like I'm feeling. Even though it was getting all these huge streams because, yeah, they putting it on mad playlists. Like, you're tapped into Spotify, so goddamn right you're going to be #1 on Spotify. They're fucking hand in hand. They work together. They partners. They got a partnership. It got to a point, Spotify had to pay a fucking lawsuit because people was like, yo, why is he on my goddamn why is he on my playlist? Every time I go to another playlist, it'd be like Christian music for nuns, Drake popping up on the 5th song. Like, why? People got tired. They had to pay out money because he was on too many playlists. People don't understand it. It doesn't mean it's like these rappers. And somebody said it years ago, I think it was Russ. And Russ was right. He said a lot of you rappers do these festivals because you don't really have no real fans. Now they got the big thing on Twitter, and I might do a video about it, that the Drake beat Drake, all them stadium shows, and Kendrick didn't even beat Drake's tour, his own stadium, his own arena tour. He beat an arena tour, beat a stadium tour with the numbers, right? Because he made quite a few more millions with his tour. It was all a blur tour. When the final, it ain't even get the final tally of Kendrick's GNX with SZA tour. It didn't even get the final tallies. But as of right now in the U.S., Drake numbers were higher than Kendrick. But what they're not telling you is Kendrick did like 23 shows. Drake did an 80 tour, 80 show run. You did 80 fucking shows. You better have more fucking money than me. That's a slave fucking deal. He did 80 shows, gang. Can you process? That's what Michael Jackson had to do 50 shows before he died. He was in debt. They worked this motherfucker to death. He was going to go overseas. He had a 50 show tour he's about to do. And I got the video. He's like I got the video. It's called, This Is It. Michael Jackson got a documentary about that damn, putting that tour together. This is it. It's no more shows. I'm done. Michael Jackson was done. But before his ass was done, they were like, yeah, you can be done, but you're going to do these 50 shows over in Bucharest and wherever else the hell we tell you to go because you owe us some shmoney. So Drake did an 80, and a lot of these Drake fans like to brag, yo, Drake paid that $400 million loan back that he got from UMG. Been paid that back. He been paid that back. Oh, 2022, he been paid that back. You know what you're talking about? Well, he had a fucking 360 deal where they get money from every single thing he does. So all that fucking 80 arena tour and all that was to pay that debt back. That's not what they not telling you that part though. So he did 80 fucking shows. Kendrick did like 20 something. Damn near beat his ass with the 20 something shows. He doing stadiums. He did a stadium in your own fucking city you never even did. Drake never did a stadium. Ask yourself why. Oh, here the Drake fans. They got a million excuses. Drake don't like the acoustics in stadiums. Stadium sound is terrible. That's why he only does arenas. He cares about his fans. Gang, you never seen no shit like this in your life. You ain't never seen no shit like this. So now we're seeing the fall off, right? J. Cole still ain't dropped the album, the fall off, but we're seeing the fall off. TPain, back to TPain a million years later, that TPain, I'm gonna read this article because TPain just was saying, you're not bowing out gracefully, you're forcing this shit. Okay? So let me read this. TPain calls out Drake for ignoring his own advice about exiting the music industry. In 2023, Drake told Lil Yachty that he'd like to make a graceful exit from the music industry when the time is right. During a recent appearance on the Crash Dummies podcast, TPain called out Drake, accusing him of failing to follow his own advice. He reflected on the Toronto artist's 2023 interview with Lil Yachty. See, what happens is these interviews don't never disappear. Some people actually believe what you say, right? Some people believe what you say, and you don't even know what you're saying. You don't mean it, right? Because I don't think he thinks he needs to bow out. But if an artist of that magnitude, I don't care what the reason is. If you're on 18 records, none of them are charting, then you do your album with Party Next Door, none of those chart, do y'all remember that none of that shit was breaking the top 50? I think one or two songs got in the top fucking 40 to 30. Like that shit was all garbage. Like it wasn't doing nothing. Drake took a year to break the top 10. Like from the time of the battle to recently, he couldn't get nothing in the top 10, the top 20, the top 50. Then he dropped the damn 100 gigs upon your head top and them joints went nowhere. Y'all don't remember that shit? This is what we talking about. It's time to bow out or fall back. Fall back for a year, fall back for 2. No, he's forcing it. Now he's going to drop this Iceman thing. But let me keep this moving. In the interview, he discussed the concept of making a graceful exit from the music industry. At the time, Drizzy said he'd like to stop competing eventually and let the next generation take over. Who is that, Smiley? If Smiley's the next generation, maybe he is. I don't know. One thing I learned from Drake, he says, one thing I learned from Drake, but one thing he hasn't followed is his own words. This is TPain speaking at this point. He says, Drake said, I want to be one of them people that gracefully bow out and not get kicked out. TPain explained, I have ever since said, thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all when I drop. Don't worry about it. I'll just drop something. Let me know if you heard it. This is TPain saying that when he falls back like he did, he's going to just say, listen, I'll drop something here and there. Let me know if you heard it, but I'm not competing with anybody. I'm not doing this for the numbers. Let me continue. Quote, one thing I learned from Drake, but one thing oh no, I'm sorry. Quote, Drake is like, no, listen, okay, I got another one. Hold on, check this out. Y'all ain't like that one? Okay, real quick, just one more. Let me try one more. And it's sad that the fall was so fast. It was rapid, gang, and it's hard to adjust to being that, yo, it only took a year. It only took a year for that $400 million man to become like $20, but it is what it is. Now I know y'all saying, Charles, come on, you exaggerate. This motherfucker, he going to do a tour in Europe. He just came off the U.S. tour. He did 300-something million on the U.S. tour. He did 80 shows. Dog, you're talking crazy. Shit, yes, the shit has slowed down, but it ain't time to retire. No, it's not really necessarily time to retire, but it's time for him to actually fall back and regroup and figure out who he is. He's rushing into this album. He's going to rush in and put out some really subpar shit. Nobody misses him yet, so they're not going to really care. Half the people won't listen, and then the other half going to say it's trash. Only people going to be hyping it up as his peoples, and they're going to make a million excuses. They're going to, first of all, they're going to say, get ready. They're going to say he's blackballed. They're going to say he got no radio, because that's what they're saying. That's not bad for an album with no radio, da-da-da. Gang, radio's dead. Yes, they still play things on the radio. Radio's not going to make or break you no more. I'm just going to be honest. A guy like Drake don't need the radio. It's good to have. Yes, of course. Get the radio. The little people the people that still listen to the radio at work while they're throwing boxes or they at their desk. You know what I'm saying? Filing their nails, whatever they're doing, shuffling papers, answering calls. Yes, they're going to still have the radio on in the background. But at the end of the day, that's not the forefront of the industry anymore. I'm just going to be honest. So to them, they're being disingenuous talking about, yo, he got blackballed at radio. Well, he ain't really get blackballed. He just ain't make nothing good enough for the radio to play. Okay, let's just keep this moving. Like when you said I want to gracefully bow out and not get kicked out, I was like, you know what? I'm out this bitch. I'm out this mother. I'm not trying to impress y'all N-words, he said. Y'all N-words don't give a F if I live or die. Why the F would I keep trying to impress y'all? I'm out. I'm done. I did everything I'm trying to do. I changed the game. I made a sound. What else? And TPain is right. What he's saying is, I did everything. Y'all don't care really anymore anyway. So let me just fall out. And that's where we at with Drake. In my opinion, I feel like he's doing a lot. He ain't a new independent artist trying to make a buck. This guy is the biggest artist in the world. Let's be one of the top 3, right? And if you're struggling, you're doing all this moving around and all this 100 upon your 100 gigs upon your head top, and you got this burner Instagram account plot twist. For all of y'all that don't know, if you go find plot twist, you're gonna find Drake sneakily throwing up all these pictures and all this stuff that related to him and his newfound circumstance. All the things about Drake is on that plot twist account. You're doing a lot. I don't see nobody that's top tier doing that. I don't know about Taylor Swift having a burner Instagram account where she's trying to drum up engagement. I don't know if that happens. I've never seen Kendrick. Well, some people say Kendrick is that Prince guy who got the Drake's medication and his dad's shirt and all that. They say that Twitter account is actually Kendrick in disguise. I don't believe that. I think that Kendrick is way too smart to be the Prince. What is it, Prince 2K, whatever that shit is. That shit was funny, but end of the day, we don't know that that's Kendrick, but we do know that plot twist is Drake, right? So who's doing all this instead of just falling back? Just live at the embassy. You get a lot of residuals. You don't need a big deal from Universal no more. You can move forward. Like, just listen. They told me that the Drake fans told me that the deal is paid up. He paid his $400 million in 2022. He don't owe them nothing. Oh, he don't. So when we in court for? If you don't owe him nothing, he's trying to get a bigger deal. Why? Why does he need a bigger deal? Why does he need another slave deal for $1 billion? What are they gonna do? 160 fucking shows? Like, what are we talking about? Why does he want to get a deal for $1 billion? That's the narrative. Drake trying to get a deal for $1 billion. Why? Why would you want to owe somebody $1 billion fucking dollars? Like, make this shit make sense, gang. It ain't making no sense to me. You could have just went independent. When you pay back, but see, they don't understand. When you pay $400 million back, you owe them more. They don't just hand you $400 million and you hand it back. No, you owe them more. You owe them a lot more. They don't give you money just so you can break even. They don't give you money just so you can hold on to it for a couple years and hand it right back. You owe them a lot more. So it ain't that simple, Drake fans, in case you don't know that. So at the end of the day, he either still owes them a lot of money or he's trying to renegotiate so he can throw that money in with some new money and we can start clean, right? Now, it don't always work like that. Now they're trying to say, yo, they're trying to devalue my bargaining power. They're trying to make my brand. When they did this Kendrick thing, they pushed Kendrick so he would say these things and they would devalue. They had a meeting. That was the whole narrative too. They had a Kendrick waited to drop Not Like Us because he had to have a meeting with Lucian Grange, and they had a meeting all to see if he could push it and it's like a whole thing. But end of the day, most of that's bullshit. What just happened was this guy beat you so bad and it put chinks in your armor. And ain't because he called you a pedo. It's because everything that happened after he called you that. You act all scary. You're doing all this. You bowed out in the Hot Pot 6 and you went silent. And you cooked up this lawsuit. And then your record start flopping. And the kids, you put the nail in your own coffin because you made these kids respect nothing but sales. Now you ain't selling like that. Right? You and Lil Wayne, both of y'all struggling. So now the kids that revere nothing but the album says they don't even want to hear the music if it ain't selling. Now you done put your foot in your mouth because you done talked up all these sales and they're not there no more. So now your fan base wants these sales and they're running around making a million excuses. So when you come out again and they don't sell, they're going to be a million more excuses. You don't need to be in this environment if that's all you're worrying about is sales, because they're not coming back. They're never, ever, ever coming back. So you might as well retire because you're never going to be that guy again. Never. Your damage is irreparable. The only way you would ever get the numbers again, you definitely ain't doing the numbers when you did that. What was that? You did like 700,000-800,000 in the first week. You're not getting them numbers ever again, gang. Never. Never. And I love how they try to rewrite history. Like Mr. Morale didn't beat every time this guy dropped, whatever the last thing Drake had got beat. But they don't tell you that. They don't say, oh, if it wasn't for Drake, he wouldn't have been. Dude, I've been watching this shit for years. I watched when Damn came out and beat that last bullshit that Drake had. I watched it, but they try to make, they want to rewrite history, gang. They want to make it like, yo, this guy was he's an open mic rapper until Drake came along, right? No, gang, it's not that simple. This guy was doing this thing for quite some time. This guy named Kendrick Lamar. It wasn't no fucking haymaker. This nigga wasn't fucking off the street. He was already doing big tours for millions of dollars, breaking many records already before this happened. But now, after he demolished this guy is in a body bag. So this is where we are. And this is what TPain is trying to gracefully tell this dude. All right, but let me keep this moving. I'm rambling, gang. It is what it is. TPain went on to say that he doesn't even want to put out any new albums moving forward, as it would involve a lot of promotion and convincing people that his album is good. And that's what it is. You gotta do these live streams and this, that. You gotta go see Aiden Ross and all these goofy motherfuckers and try to say, yeah, my album's cool. Like, you're 12, you're gonna love it. Just for the 12-year-olds. So it's like, you don't want to do all that. And he got a point. So now Drake, on the other hand, appears to have a new project around the corner. The album is rumored to be titled Iceman. It doesn't have an official release date yet, but it's speculated that it'll drop sometime this year. Drake caught wind of this. So now we got to Drake. Now he first of all, him responding means it really burns. He probably thought about this response for a while. He sat there. He had his hookah. He had his bubble bath. He was got out the tub, got a robe on, and just started thinking about this response. And this is his response. This guy always had a resentment for me with a laughing emoji. You can hear it every time he speaks on my name. So it's two ways to look at this. First of all, Drake is looking at it through the eyes of the guy that thinks that everybody hates him, right? If you're thinking everybody hates me, then you're going to look at it that he hates you. But if he, first of all, TPain talks shit about everybody. Let's just be honest. TPain the last 3 years, this motherfucker, all his quotables are about talking shit. I've been thinking like a year ago, I was like, damn, why TPain always, everything he says is always some wild ass shit. Like, he get on these podcasts, he just let it fly, like whatever. It's like, I'm like, oh, you that smart ass motherfucker in school that's always like fucking mad condescending motherfucker. Okay, I get it. So that you can just tell that's his nature. So it ain't about you. This motherfucker don't like nobody, hate everybody. He hate everything. So it's like, yo, you can't just say he resents me. But TPain told a story on the podcast that he drove to Canada and worked with Drake. He did 4 records with Drake, and Drake didn't give him no record back. He said, I went to Canada, I drove my tour bus, went through the tolls, got my passport, everything, went there. We worked on 4 records. One of the records ended up on, what album did he say? Take Care, I think. He said one of the records is on the album. He said, and I wanted him on, I think he said he wanted Drake on Buy Me a Drink, and Drake never, it was either Buy Me a Drink or one of them records. And he said he did the 4 records, and he said it might even be more records. Then when he got time to get the record back from Drake, Drake never did nothing. And we hear these stories all the time about Drake flaking to use you for your shit, and then he ain't around, right? I think that was what Future was mad about. When they first started being mad, Future was mad because Drake didn't show up to the video shoot. He like, God damn, my nigga, like the fuck? I came to your shit, like so a lot of fuck shit Drake used to do, people was upset about. and this is how we got here. That we don't trust you and like that record and all this shit. We got there because a lot of the petty things that this guy would do to try to play with niggas, and it's just like niggas got tired of it. So it's like, okay, fine. So it's not that he resents you. I mean, what do you say? He got resentment? Well, if you tell me a story like that, I drove over to Canada and I did 4 records and you used my record, and then you never, I only wanted you on 1 and you never did it, it's a reason to resent your ass. Right? This is how this stuff happens in the music business. Something happens, someone says something and they never let it go. Or you do something. If you look at all of these industry beefs, Kanye and Travis Scott, all these guys, Pusha T, it leads back to some shit that somebody did. It ain't never just out of, they don't never just hate you out of nowhere. It's a reason. So yeah, he probably do resent you for that. Because he wouldn't have told the story about how he never got the record back. But Drake is looking at it like, yo, he just resent me for no reason. You know how niggas hate. You know what I'm saying? Just, it is what it is. But I feel like this ain't necessarily hate. I think this is him seeing the whole picture like, bro, you ain't hitting like you was. Right? How Hammer say, you ain't hitting in New York, right? You're not hitting like you was. There may be time to slow down, but what he's trying to say is, no, you keep throwing shit to the wall. All last year, after this battle, you throwing shit to the wall. What was that girl that she did 2 records with? She thought her record was gonna blow. Her ass was in trouble too. The Spanish girl, the Cuban girl, she did, I can't remember her name, but he did 2 records with her. Them joints went blah 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 blah. It was plop plop flit, plop plop fizz fizz. That shit was Pepto-Bismol and some more shit. That shit was not, it didn't work. The Alka-Seltzer, this shit was night. And most of the shit he did last year, so TPain looking at that like, bro, like, your fans is trying to make excuses, but in the real world, this is not good. You're looking really bad out here. You threw 10, 15 records straight, and this shit ain't do nothing. So T-Pain trying to tell you some shit, and you looking at it like, these niggas hating, man. Listen, I'm going to wrap this up because end of the day, I know y'all looking at it like, because a guy got cash, and he got all these material things. When it's time, when you by yourself and you start thinking and you got all this time to think about what's going on, that shit don't mean nothing, gang. This guy wants to be #1. He wants to be looked at as the great Drake again. His videos doing garbage. Look at fucking the joint he just did with Smiley. I just told you, the shit is at this point, it got to be 12, 13 days old. The shit still only got 1.2 million views. I saw it today. 1.2 million views for a Drake record. That's unheard of. That's the first day. That's first day views. And I keep telling you, the clips, they shit is at 6 million. And they came out 3-4 days after that record. Clips at 6 million. So you're struggling right now, gang, and that shit eating at him. Yeah, the robe feel good and the bubbles feel great, but at the end of the day, that shit don't. Dude's got pride and ego, right? And what T-Pain's trying to tell you, the pride and ego is what you said you would never do. You didn't want to get kicked out, and this is the real definition of getting kicked out of the game. Right? I'm just going to be honest. I'm out of here, man. I'm not talking about this no more. Let me know what you think. Head on over to black-yeti.com. They ship all over the continental U.S. Let them know who sent you. All right, get in the comments and tell me, man, how you feel about this situation. Should he retire or DK retire, or should he keep it like, just keep chugging on like, he can make his money, But as these sales start to decrease, it's going to be it's not going to look good. It's going to look bad, and they're going to be making a million excuses. They're going to start blaming the whole world. Other than we just tired of this guy. CLBMG, man. Every Wednesday night we go live. We will be talking about this. It's called The What Show. It's on 8 different platforms. We get about 200 people in the chat. Make sure you're one of them. Come through. Let us know something. All right, I'm going to catch you on that flip. I'm out. Peace.
Look, mission impossible to drop a few lines without dropping old times when Southern Hill was still a gold mine. When pistol grips was my shit and I sold mine. When Alias was not a show and they told mine. Elevate your mind with high quality THC infused products. BlackYeti.com. Black-Yeti.com.
CLB.